Over the last 8 years, I've tested hundreds of tools for growing a YouTube channel, but most of them honestly belong right here in the garbage. They've wasted my time, they've wasted my money, they've wasted a lot of resources. But these 10 that I'm about to share have actually helped me grow my own full-time channel. No, not this one, obviously, but I'm using them to grow this one too. So if you're looking to add some tools to your creator toolbox to grow your channel fast and inexpensively, then let's get to work. Starting with tool number one, oneof10.com. I'm going to take you through what the actual tools are and show you how I use them. So this is a tool that's become known over the past couple of years for a few different reasons, a few different use cases. You can find better thumbnail concepts, generate ideas. There's different pricing structures. So personally, I just use their free browser extension, which I find super useful. And you see I have pulled up right here Stix's YouTube channel. And if I go to add, like I want to add a new thumbnail onto this. You can use this on individual channel pages or on the actual YouTube homepage, which is what I find usually the most useful. I can throw in to see what my thumbnail would look like versus all of theirs. If I want to do another one, I can just upload another thumbnail here. I can adjust any of the title that I want, and there now I can see this is what my thumbnails would look like up against theirs. I can see if the colors don't stand out. I can see if the title's too long. I can see how this just generally looks on a channel page with all the other thumbnails. I find this super, super helpful when I finish a thumbnail into uploading it onto YouTube before it goes live to see if I need to make any last minute tweaks and adjustments. The other thing that I love with one of 10, just at a quick, at a glance look, is I can see, you see these numbers here, 4.1. 0.9, 0.5. This is the outlier score. So you see that this video that's a 4.1 has 4 million views. This performed 4.1 times higher than the channel average within this time period. So that video versus this one, which is a 1.4, which did perform above the average, but didn't perform as well as this one. That helps me find outliers at a quick glance and see what's working on each individual channel to come up with ideas of my own. This second tool is a bit more accurate in calculating the outliers on YouTube, which I like to use it for a more nitty-gritty approach. That is ViewStats. This is Mr. Beast's analytics tool, and I love using this. I'm honestly using this on a daily basis. I see here, this is the one that I pulled up that I had referenced on Stix's channel. And you see the outlier score is just a little bit different. That's just based on how each of the calculations is. But ViewStats I can use for so many things. I personally use the pro version. I'll show you some of those tools in a bit, but the free version is good enough. You see all of these creators here on the home screen. Let's say I want to go to CoffeeZilla, great channel. I can look at his channel, see what his views, subs, and estimated revenue was in the last 28 days. Look, you're not going to get an exact breakdown of revenue, but getting in the ballpark and understanding each niche is super helpful. You can break down on a 7-day, 28-day, or 3-month, or ViewStats max on here. I can look there. I can see the videos. This is what I find one of the most useful things is, let's say I want to check out this video here. You got 5 million views, did incredibly well. Oh, there's no actual thumbnail test on this video, but if they get 5 million views, 200,000 likes, this crushed it. Let's go to another video, The Dark Side of Counter-Strike 2. If I open the change gallery, I can see that he changed his title from on the 24th to Christmas Day to this current title. And this one's probably my favorite. I got bribed by casinos, but I exposed them instead. I can look at the actual thumbnails of the video that CoffeeZilla tested. So he started out with a test of these 3 things, and I can start to understand what was he testing here, and do a title change into his second A/B test, and this is the one that ultimately won out. You can start learning so much from this just on a free tool. So let me take you over to the Pro Tools now. The Pro Tools are great because you get all of these extra details. You get to understand the outliers at a better glance. You get to look and search for actual thumbnails. So let's say that I wanted to do a video about oranges. I can see what videos and thumbnails look like on this topic. If I want to see what A/B tests there are with oranges, I can see all of these results. No surprise at the annoying oranges here. And I can also check out the outliers. I guess we'll stick with oranges, as weird as that is. We can see that the outliers here are these videos on the channel. So it's a lot of videos that are like realistically picking oranges, growing oranges, not necessarily anything weird. That this one's a little bit of an odd outlier. You can also do collections. I love these collections because I can break down, like, here are all my favorite thumbnails that I can look to for inspiration from. I can go back and do like trending concepts. You know, these are some of the trending things that people are doing on YouTube. They've done multiple videos on. You can break it down however you actually want. You can also go on a channel by channel. I can spend hours showing you through ViewStats Pro, but this is one of my favorite YouTube tools. Tool number 3 is one of my favorites because nobody else has it. Now, there are tools that do the same type of thing, but they're so darn clunky. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. I oftentimes like to download the actual thumbnails to get inspiration from, put them in Google Sheets, put them wherever. And I have this tool here that my brother actually built for me that I can throw in the YouTube URL, get thumbnail URL, and it brings up a new tab so I can just save the image as. Now, yes, there are other tools that actually do this type of thing, but they're, like I said, they're so darn clunky. So quick one, sorry there's no download for it yet, but I had to show you it because it's a part of my daily YouTube toolbox. You can, however, use this next tool, number 4, which is the Google Suite. This is far and away the tool I use the most on a regular basis. Of course, Gmail, like, yeah, you're sending emails, but also Google Drive and Google Sheets. So Google Sheets, one of the things that I do is type out all of the ideas that I have. These are ideas that I have for this channel in particular. By the way, if you're new here, my name's Josiah. I'm a YouTube strategist helping you to grow your own channel. I've helped channels from a few thousand subs to millions of subs to get views. Of course, yeah, it's kind of embarrassing right now because I don't really have any subscribers. If you could help me out with that just by hammering in that subscribe button, please, I would be so grateful. So let's see what I got here on Google Sheets. This is where I type out all of my ideas. You see I have multiple tabs here at the bottom, like who the ideal viewer is I'm going for, buckets of ideas. I break this down by the niche that I'm trying to hit, the audience member, the bucket, the exact idea. That's just one of my Google Sheets. I have this one that I was using just as like a calculation for one of my other videos about how I'm secretly planning to grow a YouTube channel with like my watch loop of my launch videos, the outliers that I'm kind of referencing, the actual calculations. That's Google Sheets. And then this is one of my favorites. I have this video coming out soon too about how I broke down 3,000 Mr. Beast thumbnails. Insane. I'm not going to go more into detail about that because like there's so many tutorials out there. I just wanted to show you how I'm actually using it to grow my channel. Tool number 5 is another Google product. So I use Google Trends all the time to research video topics. If I'm typing in like Mr. Beast, should I do a video on Mr. Beast? I go to Google Trends, I go to YouTube search, and I look how has his search term been doing over the last 30 days versus last 90 days. Maybe how can I see him versus Ryan Trahan? How have those search terms been? It's not a surprise to me that Mr. Beast is performing higher in terms of search volume, but let me throw in another one like Iraq. And then I could actually go and see like how have those search terms done over the last 5 years? Is this something worth covering? Yeah, those are individual creators, but let's say I wanted to find a way to cover the Olympics. The Olympics are something that was massive, of course, in July of last year. And then before that, it was like the Winter Olympics and the Olympics that 4 years before that. If I wanted to cover a topic about the election, I can see that how big it was in search volume in November. That makes sense. I can look at all these individual topics and they can help me understand what videos should I actually cover, which videos are getting search volume, and how are certain topics performing against each other. This is especially helpful in entertainment and intellectual property based channels. I guess I'll keep it in Google for tool number 6, Google AI Studio. This is one of my biggest hacks that I've found in the last few months. It is so darn big and important for learning through tutorials. Yeah, there are a ton of great tutorials online on YouTube walking you through things, but if you want like catered tutorial to something you're trying to learn, this is the tool to do it. So I can go to actually stream my screen real time, talk with Gemini, that's Google's AI tool, Gemini. And if I wanted to stream, let's say Premiere, I actually hadn't edited a video in a couple of years and I was a little bit rusty in getting back into it. So I was able to pull up this tool and ask, hey Gemini, how do I I cut all clips on a timeline at the same time. And then Gemini is literally able to talk you through, hey, go over to the edit tab at the very top of the screen, then set your keyboard shortcut to this, then press X or press C, and it can walk you through doing these cuts in real time. This is next level learning. It helps you grow so fast. Even if you don't know all the technical terms, you don't have to be an expert to use this tool, which is my favorite thing about it. All right, we're done with Google. I'm gonna head over to the next tool, number 7, Notion. If you don't use Notion, there's a slight bit of a learning curve, but this is another free tool. I use Notion for a few different things. You see, I use a bunch of personal stuff here, like tracking my to-do list, my journals, etc., etc. But I have a to-do list here for things that I want to do now, do soon, and something that can actually wait. I have a content creation calendar for, this is actually for my LinkedIn post, but I also have a content calendar for my video posts. So these are all the videos that I want to be launching in right now. I have it typed out with my actual outline of what I want to talk about, framing device ideas. I can break it down by the status of the actual video. If I've started it, not yet. I can look at who I want that audience to be from that spreadsheet. So I'm kind of using that in conjunction with the spreadsheet. I get the ideas there. And then when I feel more narrowed down on where I want to be, I add it into this calendar to break it down even further. This is really where a lot of my YouTube content calendar is. I found this in Notion to be the most useful for tracking and organizing everything. And then I can break it down by videos. I can break it down by shorts. I can break this down however the heck I want. I have other tabs here that I use for graphic inspiration, for product ideas, just quotes and taglines that I think are kind of cool. Like I said, there's a slight learning curve if you're unfamiliar with Notion, but you could use Google AI Studio to help walk you through how to do things. Tool number 8 is a big one. And if you're not understanding how to use AI tools yet to grow your YouTube channel, to grow your business, to grow your content creation, then you need to hop in right now. A few months back, I spent an immaculate amount of time understanding how to use AI. I am still not a pro. I found out that I was actually a little bit better than I thought I was, but there was still so much I can learn. I'm still learning to this day when it comes to AI, and I think we all are. But ChatGPT is a great jump into using AI products. I just made the leap into paying for ChatGPT on a regular basis. It's like $30 a month. To me, it's actually worth it for what I'm using it for. But if you're just doing a few prompts a day or very, very minimal tasks, then you may be able to get away with the free version. So I have a LinkedIn writing tool, which I actually use to create a GPT where I read a couple of books on writing online, on writing business. Nicholas Cole's book, I highly recommend, but I typed out a ton of notes. And from those notes, I inputted it into here as a GPT and said, hey, everything that I write, I want you to use these principles that I took from this book to reframe what I'm saying to make it fit that. So I have a snappier hook. I have a better closing sentence. I have a more structured actual paragraph. I do the same thing here with YouTube. So I inputted a bunch of comparable channels as its own GPT so that I could get actual tailored results. I inputted all my video ideas, said, hey, here are like 100+ ideas that I want to do. Can you help me create new ideas based off that? That is my shorts ideas or my actual YouTube ideas here. If I want to frame a video around something specifically, it can help me do that. If I want to create a better hook or a better ending to a video, these are all things that I have in here just as ideas. And of course, you may have seen probably the newest and coolest feature that ChatGPT has, which is the thumbnail generation. And the thumbnail generation, so I included this little mock-up, something I did in Photoshop. Hey, can you recreate this into a YouTube thumbnail? I just wanted to see what it would look like. Here's what it generated. It's not perfect, but it is 1,000 times better than it was even just a month ago. This is how fast these AI tools are growing. Yeah, some people are using these as actual final thumbnails. I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing that just because there's little tweaks and some of the AI stuff is still a little bit weird, but I would highly recommend it for little mock-ups or understanding, hey, I have a video idea. How can I put it out there and actually get a visual representation of what this would look like on YouTube? It's awesome. And one of my favorite things to do with this is my data and spreadsheet. So I will create a massive spreadsheet like that one on 3,000 Mr. Beast thumbnails. I'll come up with my own takeaways for it, but then I'll also put it into to ChatGPT and say, hey, what are some of the things that you're noticing across these 3,000 thumbnails that are similar? Are there any patterns that you're seeing? What are the things that are winning or losing? It's a lot quicker data analysis than like exactly what I'm able to do just with my 2 eyes. Really, really cool and advanced features to start using with ChatGPT. Tool number 9 is a quick one before we get to tool number 10. That's the Adobe suite. I use Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Premiere. Those are my editing tools that I use. I don't necessarily recommend any other software to create thumbnails with other than Photoshop, just because I think it's so advanced in the features in there. Yes, it takes a learning curve to understand it if you're not used to it, but also that's how you create better YouTube thumbnails. Use the Google AI Studio to help you. The same thing goes with video editing with Premiere. I've used Final Cut on Apple, which was fine. I actually enjoyed using that one. It was a little bit of a transition going over to Premiere, but the nice thing is there's a link between the two of those. The only caveat here with the Adobe Creative Cloud, and I fully recognize and understand it, is the cost per month to be able to access these tools. It's super annoying, but if you're making some money with your channel already, it really shouldn't be that big of an expense for you, as annoying as it can be for new and up and coming creators. But it's hard to believe that we've made it this far without talking about tool number 10. This is my favorite tool among all of them. I feel like I've said that a couple times, but this time it's actually true, because I'm in here on a daily, multi-times a day basis checking analytics. Now, obviously not on this channel because there's nothing here yet on Viewmaster Media, but I can go to my analytics and see things out of view. Right now, there's only one thing up, which is just a mock-up that I added in here, but you can break down all of your content to a T. You can understand what content is doing well. What are the views? How high is the watch time? Which videos are actually bringing in more subscribers? As I grow this channel more and more, I look to do deep dives into my studio analytics to share with you so you can help use that to grow your own channel. You can understand where your traffic is coming from. Is it coming from the home page or from the channel page? Is it coming from search or suggested traffic? Who is your actual audience? Breaking that down little by little here, and all of these other tools. Are people watching on TVs? Are people watching on phones? Which phone are they watching from? There's so much to break down in YouTube Studio. You can use this as granular or high level as you want, but I promise there's something here for everyone, including somebody who used this to grow their channel to multi-millions of subscribers. That is Mark Rober. If you want to find out how he essentially doubled his subscribers in just a year, you can watch that video here.